and welcome to discussion board number 7. This module we're supposed to be discussing Simonson's equivalency theory and its effect on either universities or K through 12. One of the things we need to point out is the equivalency theory basically states that equivalent learning experiences can be presented to learners when learning will be equivalent. Simonson points out in his article in 1999 that learner experiences in distance and face-to-face learning environments are only equivalent in terms of the quality of the learning outcomes. You cannot make them equal in terms of what goes on in the classroom. They're just different styles. Simon, Schuster, and Hansen in 1999 noted that equivalency theory proposes that the more equivalent the learning experiences or distance learnings are those of local learners, the more equivalent will the outcomes of the educational experiences for all learners. Learning experiences in distance and face-to-face learning environments can be equivalent, but it has to be in terms of the outcome in the performance, not necessarily in what goes on in the classroom. As a matter of fact, what goes on in the classroom is very unique compared to what actually goes on in an e-learning environment. The difficulty here is that the real divide comes because face-to-face learners have that built-in connection with the teacher, and so when students feel that connection with the teacher, they feel like that they actually perform better. It's part of that connecting, and part of that face-to-face gives them that built-in ability. Now, it doesn't always work, and some teachers just don't connect with students, but in an online environment, it's very easy to lose that one-on-one connection. So online learning experiences have to be developed around the concept of you need to be able to connect with your student in some way. And in a K through 12 program, that's critical. An online program for college, you're assuming that students are more independent and better able to learn on their own. But in a K through 12 program, students need that collaborative learning environment where they learn together. And so the only way to do that, and in fact the best way to do that as far as the Simonson studies determined, was that the use of what they call a talking head. Believe it or not, the talking head actually provided more input and provided better performance from the students. However, regardless of the material and the presentation model, students do better when they have an opportunity to interact with the instructor either in face-to-face or in video. And so even the talking head works well in that type of environment. Thank you.